Hello everyone, this is my first ever playthrough of Final Fantasy Online, and let's have fun today. Let's get into it. See you there. Tell me, Demon Lord, does aught here strike you as odd? I see signs of recent habitation. Could it be that we have trespassers? Hmm, mayhaps it's just my imagination. Come, let us proceed into the solar... Get armor. That's really good. Wait, who goes there? Now, Ida. Is that any way to greet a friend? Oh, fun this Demon Lord? Sid? Wait, is this a dream? Not that I'm aware of. It's been a while, Ida. I don't believe it. I was sure you'd been... This place has seen better days. I wasn't actually here when I still in talks at the Adder's Nest. The first I knew about it was when I came back and I saw Ida. The church had taken care of the bodies, but that still left the stains. It was hard to know where to start. If Stala hadn't been here to help me. Stala is here too? Yes, but she's not here right now. She's gone to Old Dal to meet a man who might know what happened to the others. Papalymo and Minfilla weren't among the dead according to the church. Stola thinks they were taken somewhere. Upon the orders of the Black Wolf, no doubt. Why would he want them? Because they possess something he desires, knowledge of another power that can be brought to bear against the primals, one that Gaius has yet to harness. The Echo. Gaius will be aware of its existence as well as the immunity it grants the gifted to the primal's influence. Powerful though his Alang weapon may be, he would doubtless desire such protection. He means to use Minifila to gain an understanding of the Echo, none of which explains how the Empire came to know the location of Waking Sands in the first place. No matter, the Empire has shown its hand, and now we must act. It is up to us to rebuild the Scions and save Eorza. Can I count on you, Ida? What? Oh, yes. Yes, of course. Whatever you need. We can discuss our next move upon Stola's return. For now, I say we rest.
Hear, feel, think. bringer of light, brave gatherer of the crystals, thy soul burneth bright. I am Heidelin, all made one. Hearken unto me now, for the darkness doth begin to spread. Wear thee the bearer of the crimson brand, for he is the avatar of shadow, whom death attendeth always. The crystals shall be thy salvation, thy blade and shield both. Steel thyself, for at the appointed hour thou shalt stare into the heart of darkness. Go with caution, my child, but fear not, for I am ever with thee.
Pistola. Demon Lord, I see you and Elfenund are safe. And did? That we five should meet each other thus defies simple explanation. It is as if the benevolent hand of Master Usox guides us still. He would not see us undone so easily, not now, when the need is so great. I know where Minfilla and others are being held. Where? An Imperial stronghold in the heart of Mordona, Castrum Sentry. The rescue of our allies will be no small undertaking, Demon Lord. Even under normal circumstances, breaching the defense of an Imperial castrum would be a highly dangerous proposition, but now the castrum sentry houses prisoners whom the Garleans deem valuable. We may be confident that they have taken additional measures to ensure the stronghold's security. If we are to free our friends, we will require an effective strategy, and if we are to formulate an effective strategy, we will require intelligence. I believe I know a man who may be able to assist us in this. Lord Portaline of House Urdar. He is stationed in the Observatorium in Corthius. Let us go to him and beseech his aid. Ah, Demon Lord, the man who unmasked the heretic in our midst. To what do I owe the pleasure of your company? You are an associate of Thala? But of course, Lord Drillamont can confide to me that you were a scion of the Seventh Dawn. You know. Castrum Sentry, what interesting have you all in the Imperials? They hold several of our number, whom we intend to free. Any information you can provide would be greatly appreciated. I see. That might explain our scouts' reports. They observed 4 prisoners being led into the castrum, a Hiram woman and an Elzen man and 2 Lalafels, 1 male, 1 female. It's them. It has to be Minfilla, Ranger, Paplamo, and Tataru. It is the scant morsel of use to you. You may also be interested to hear about a more recent incident. An Imperial airship made an emergency landing here in Corthius not long ago. 2 men believed to be prisoners, Rogaden and Alalafel, were seen fleeing the craft. What did you say? A Rogaden and Lalafel, Master Garland, neither wore Imperial dress and both seemed disinclined to wait for rescue, hence our assumption that they were prisoners. Well, I'll be damned. It's Biggs and Wedge. Trust those 2 rascals to escape. We must find them, Demon Lord, and soon. The Imperials will not rest until they are captured or killed, and if Biggs were given the choice, I fear he'd take the latter. Freeing those held in Castrum Sentry will require substantial planning and preparation. As such, it is an endeavor that will admit some slight delay. The matter of the escapees, by contrast, will not. Shortly after the prisoners vacated the airship, our scouts observed Imperial troops setting off in pursuit. It is likely only a matter of time before they catch them. If you wish to see your comrades again, you best act now. If as has been suggested, the Garleans took our fellow Scions prisoner in hopes of understanding the echo, it seems reasonable to assume that they will not be executed until such time as the study is complete. But Biggs and Wedge are not Scions, nor do they know aught of the echo. As Lord Portaloon said, this may prove our only chance to rescue them. I say we seize it. Thank you, everyone. You won't regret this. Final preparations are almost complete, my lord. There stands the accumulation of 5 long years of painstaking work, but all our efforts will be vindicated when the Emperor's vision becomes reality. At last we have the power to purge this land of its false gods. We shall give the ignorant children of Eorza the security and stability they so desperately crave, in which their spineless leaders have so palpably failed to provide. As you say, my lord, rest assured our engineers will not rest until the weapon is fully armored and operational. Redolin, you depart for Castrum Obsidians at midnight. You will command the west front in Vilbrand. The Eorzans will attempt to interfere with our plans. You will see that they do not. My lord, if this be your will, I shall carry it out to the best of my ability. I live only to serve the Empire. Yet, forgive my impudence, but is it proper to give command of half our forces to a I have given you nothing. Perfidious, you have earned it. That will be all. Dismissed. Yes, my lord. My quarters, 1 hour. Oh, is he gonna get the nasty on? Welcome back. My purpose here is to reconsider Garlean activity along Alabathia's spine. Owing to this, I have the honor of being acquainted with Yestola. Now, the report of the Imperial airship's emergency landing came to us by way of Decimal Darkhold, situated to the west. Our man stationed at the entrance, a knight named Berselt, may be able to tell you more. So as to expedite your mission, I shall furnish you with a letter of introduction. I pray that you will soon be reunited with your comrades. May the Fury grant you strength. You stand before the small Darkhold, the subterranean fortress excavated by the great Ishgardian house of the same name. None but authorized personnel may enter. Wow. A letter from Lord Portaline. So you have come about the Imperial airship? According to our scouts, the vessel I had scarce touched the ground when a pair of men, captives, by all accounts, burst forth and bolted. Imperial soldiers have since been sighted in the area, seeking to recapture them. What? The captives are like to be your friends, you say? Then let us pray they are yet a step ahead of their pursuers. The emergency landing reportedly took place near the Arum Vale, situated south and west of here. I suggest you take your search there. Seek out a knight named Kirimans. He should be able to assist you. The Imperial airship? I saw it approach, to land with mine own 2 eyes. I hastened to the landing site, arriving just in time to see the vessel take to the skies again, but not before it had deployed a detachment of troops. Rough orders were being barked, and there was an air of consternation about them. There were prisoners aboard the airship, it seems, and they seized the opportunity to flee when the vessel was forced to land. The Garleans who were deployed formed search parties and proceeded to scour the wilderness. In order to alert our forces, I returned to my post to find evidence that someone had been here in my absence. Whoever they were, they tried the door to no avail and decided to go elsewhere. In all, I marked 2 sets of footprints, one large and one small. If you search the area, mayhap you will be able to follow the prints to their owners. Come on, my little gooby. to be. So cold. I will want to go home. Whoa, please don't eat me. I'm not nearly as succulent as I look. It's all skin and bones underneath, I swear. Gasp. Demon Lord, it's you. Thank goodness you're here. It's been awful. The Garleans were snapping at our heels like a hungry pack of wolves. I was so hell's-bent on evading them. I almost ran headlong into a monster's gaping maw. Thrice. And when I finally found cover, it hit me how cold and hungry I was. But Biggs, he isn't here. He went off in a different direction to lure out pursuers away. It's me, Sid. Have you had any success? Cracked down Wedge? That's wonderful news. Now what of Biggs? I see. Well, it hardly surprises me that the big fellow went off as he did. For all the tongue lashings he gives Wedge, he's always taken care of him. I've scoured the area surrounding the Darkhold, but nothing to show for it. At any rate, we know for a fact that Biggs headed west with both Ida and Istola helping out. I'm sure he'll turn up soon. Now then, I'll make my way over to your position while keeping an eye out for Biggs. If memory serves me, there should be an Ishgardian fortitude not far to your west. Monument Tower, I believe it's called. Let us meet there. Dare I hope? Was that Master Garland you spoke with? Sniff, after 5 long years. Thank goodness he's alive. I'm feeling better now, Demon Lord. Let's go to Monument Tower and wait for the chief to arrive. Well met and welcome, adventurer. What brings you to this frozen corner of the realm? Oh, it would seem your companion has caught a chill. Come and warm yourself by the fire. I will bring you a hot broth. How are we feeling now, then? Stay here as long as you need. The same goes for you, friend. It's plain you have a hard journey ahead of you. You must find rest when you can. I'm fine now, thanks to you, but I can't bear to think that Biggs is still all alone in the cold with Garleans on his heel. He lured the enemy away for my sakes, and now he's suffering for it. I hate to have to rely on you again, Demon Lord, but do you think you could search for the Biggs? I haven't the slightest notion where he might be at the moment, but maybe, just maybe, the people here have seen something. A Rogadan gentleman dressed in the same manner as your companion? I'm sorry, but he did not come by here. Let me think a moment. I would not raise your hopes unduly, but there is a cave situated a short distance to the south. We call it the Furry's Gaze, and it may be worth a while to investigate. I make this suggestion only because your friend seems like a selfless sort rather than drawing the enemy to this tower. Mayhap he elected to pass us by. Woot woot. Demon Lord, were you able to learn anything? Not in this area? Well, that stands to reason, I suppose, seeing as he was trying to lure the Garleans away from me. But where within the vast sea of snow and ice could he be? We can't give up, Demon Lord. We must find Biggs before he succumbs to the cold or is recaptured. There must be someone in this tower who can help us, even if they only tell us where else to look. Ask them for me. Ask anyone who will listen and hurry. Biggs's chances of survival grow slimmer by the moment. Your friend is lost in the wilderness, you say. If he is not to be found found around here or in the vicinity of the Darkhold, it is possible he made for Whiterun. To reach it, one must travel through Denefen Pass, the southern end of which lies to the north and east of here. While I make no guarantee that your search will bear fruit, it is surely better than worrying in idleness. I wish you luck. Oh, and one more thing, do tread wearily when climbing the stairs here. Not a moment ago, I nearly broke my neck when I slipped and took a tumble. Duty. Our orders are to take you back, dead or alive. Which will it be, engineer? Why don't you come and find out, Tinhead? Ah, Demon Lord. It is well that you are here. The situation is grave. Biggs is in bad way. We need to do something right now. Ida has the right of it. He will perish if we delay. With me. He's not alone. Kill them all. Can't kill me. I'm the gingerbread man. Oh, you guys are super weak. Easy. My thanks. Another moment, and I would have. Has been too long in the cold. We must find shelter for him. Monument Tower, you say? Very well. Ida and I shall bear him there with all haste. Sid will be so happy to see Biggs and Wedge again. Aw, I love reunions. Gotta get your little ass up on. I cannot thank you enough, Demon Lord, and the same goes for the rest of you. Thank you all so much. Oh, don't mention it. We are a family, are we not? Well, yes, it's just I didn't think I'd ever see him again. I owe the lot of you my life. You saved Wedges too, Demon Lord. I'm losing count of how many I owe you. Biggs, Wedge, gods, it's good to see the two of you again. Chief, it's you. It's really you. In our hearts, we knew you were still alive, but to finally see you in the flesh. What Alfnod told me on the raid on the walking sands, I feared the worst. What happened? Enemy struck with nary a warning. We didn't stand a chance. Budge and I were in the workshop when they came. Before we knew that what was happening, the Imperials had us at gunpoint. Must have been awful. There's one thing I don't understand, though. How did the Garleans get there so fast? I mean, the Immortal Flame should have seen them coming, right? I myself have asked the same question that day when I returned to the carnage at the Waking Sands. I noticed not a mist in horizon. Nothing at all to suggest the passing of an Imperial force. From this, I conclude that the Garleans came neither by land nor by air. Nay, they were born there by potent teleportation magic. Magics of the kind used by the Ascians. Carry on. We were bound and blindfolded and bundled into the cargo bay of a waiting airship. I can't rightly say how long we were aboard, but when the time came for us to disembark, we found ourselves in the midst of an Imperial stronghold, Castrum Sentry. Upon arrival, we marched off into the main complex. Biggs and I were thrown into the detainment cell together, while Minfilla and the others were taken elsewhere. That was the last time we heard from them. Castrum Sentry. What happened next? Well, we were held in isolation for what felt like years but was probably moons, or maybe only weeks, and then without warning the Imperials collected the pair of us and put us on a vessel which we found out was bound for Garlemald. Much to our dread, we knew that if we were taken back there, we weren't like to leave again. So risky though it was, we sabotaged the ship's altitude control and thereby forced an emergency landing. And in the midst of the ensuing chaos, we managed to slip our captors. The rest, as they say in is history. Huh. If I didn't know better, I'd call that a likely story. Sabotaging the altitude controls of an airborne vessel? That will have been Big's handiwork, like as not. You always were resourceful in a tight spot, my friend. Demon Lord, thank you for returning my dear assistance to me. It would seem I owe you yet another debt of gratitude. There are still many questions in my mind, but the answers can wait. Minifila and the others still want for rescue. Alright, you lot. Garland Ironworks is back in business. Let's go and give the Imperials what for. Hurrah. Thanks to you, Biggs and Wedge are with us again. Now we must find a way to rescue Minfilla and the others. Gods know we've kept them waiting too long already. Based on what we've learned, I believe it's safe to say they're being held at Castrum Sentry. So let us convene at Revenant's Toll in Mordoa. Is a good place as any to prepare, and better than most. The road leads east, then south. Will get you there. When we arrive, let us seek the advice of the local adventurers. We're bound to learn a thing or two that will benefit our mission. Well met, friend. What brings you to Revenant's Toll? Did I hear you rightly? Your friends are being held captive at Castrum Sentry, and you want to rescue them? I don't mean to discourage you, but that might prove difficult. The stronghold has been on high alert of late, with armored patrols seen about the perimeter around the clock. Not even a fly could get within 100 yalms of the walls undetected. If the Garleans were alerted to our coming, we cannot know what they will do to Minfilla and the others. We must act with the greatest stealth. A is to be good old-fashioned infiltration. But with security so tight, how are we going to smuggle ourselves in? Why, I've mind to walk through the front door. Huh? The front door? We'll disguise ourselves as Imperial troops and march right in. For this, we'll need a few sets of Imperial uniforms, a suit of Magitech armor, and impeccable timing. Huh. That's a bold strategy, but it just might work. Where we are, there's certainly no shortage of opportunity to borrow the equipment. Knowing those Imperial bastards, they won't even suspect that we savage Eorzans would think to use their technology. Then it's settled. If you are determined to go ahead with this, I'd recommend you speak with Glamont. The fellow's got a personal grudge against the Empire and happens to know a deal about Castrum Sentry. Besides, I've no doubt that he'd want to be of aid. Ida and I shall go to reconnoiter Garlean activity at the stronghold. It would not do if something were to befall our comrades before we had the chance to act. Come and join us when you are ready, Demon Lord. Let's do this. Sometimes I wonder, Ida, are there ever times where you are not enthused? I'm not, if not enthused, Zola, and you're beginning to remind me of Paplamo. Looking for Glaumont, are you? Well, you found him. Whoever you are. Hey, you're looking to get inside Castrum Sentry? You need my help? Heh. Something tells me we're gonna get along just fine. So you have friends at Castrum Sentry. What want for rescue? That Slaffborn knows me too well. You can count on my help. I've got a score to settle with the Imperials, and I never pass on an opportunity to get back at the Horse Sons. But enough about me, let's talk strategy. Rescuing folk from captivity, right? delicate business. A single oversight, just one little blunder, and it's all over. You can leave any room for uncertainty. For starters, you need to confirm beyond the shadow of doubt that your friends are where you think they are. You don't want to risk your neck only to discover they've been moved somewhere else. How can you find out, you ask? By following these instructions. If you approach Sentry from the east, you'll see a swampland to your left called the Tangle. Get in there, never mind all the marbles, and navigate your way to the southwestern corner. You'll come upon some drainage pipes coming down from the stronghold. Don't ask me how I know, but one old limb lead back up to the command tower. If you listen closely, might be as you can eavesdrop on some of the happenings within. Once we know for certain your friends are there, we'll move to the next stage of the operation. Now get going and Godspeed. The faint sound of conversation echoes down the pipe. What of the captive? Does she still refuse to speak? She may as well be a deaf mute for all the information we've gotten out of her. Others aren't much better. The Elzen gets on my nerves most of all. Every time he opens his mouth, it's only spout gibberish. I do wonder why is the Tribunus so obsessed with the Minifilla woman. They say she possesses some mythical power, something we Garleans don't have. Mythical power like some kind of beastman use? How am I supposed to bloody know? If you are so curious, why don't you ask the Tribunus yourself? As well try to tumble her. I like my head where it is. Thank you very much. Our break is over. Best we get back to our stations. The footfalls grow fainter until all is silent. It is good to see you again, Demon Lord. I'm given to understand you have conducted some reconnaissance. Tell me, what were you able to learn? So Minfilla and others are indeed at Castrum Sentry. This presence thus confirmed, we may proceed with this mission. While you were afield, Sid took the liberty of devising a plan of action. Pray have the details from him. Good work, Demon Lord. As Alfund has already told you, we've plotted a course for the rescue. The gist of it is unchanged. We disguise ourselves as Imperial soldiers and infiltrate the stronghold. Glamont is looking into ways to procure a suit of Magitech armor. In the meantime, I need your assistance for some preparation of my own. Phil and others are counting on us, Demon Lord. Let's not keep them waiting any longer than necessary. White Glamont goes about devising his plan, we need to see to some preparations of our own. It wouldn't do if the Imperials were to discover that they're short in armor. To prevent this from happening, I'm going to put together a makeshift communication jamming device. The explanation is like to get a bit technical, so bear with me. Imperial forces communicate at a distance via electromagnetic waves. Simply put, voices are born upon etheric lightning energy that permeates the air. Now the hill-sized cluster of corrupted crystals to the west has been observed to amplify the selfsame energy. By making use of this property, we should be able to drown out Imperial voices. To ensure that we have enough amplification, we must identify the most potent crystals among the cluster. For this, I need you to go there and use this device to take readings. I'll mark likely places on your map. Oh, and just so you know, plasmoids are drawn to lightning energy. Don't be surprised if you run into a few. Clean the wax out your ears now, because there's something I want you to do by way of preparation. Well, plans to have you enter Castron Sentry all decked out in Imperial duds, but a disguise is more than just clothing you're wearing. You also gotta act the part. At the very least, you need to know how to perform a convincing Imperial salute. First impressions are everything, as they say. I could teach you the salute myself, of course, but it's best you learn from the experts. So get yourself near as you dare to Custrum Sentry and watch the Imperials doing what they do. Yes. Nothing to report, sir. We have received an anonymous warning that insurgent forces are near. We must redouble our vigilance. I shall recommend that patrols be increased. After we get to level 50, we're gonna do the class quest, and then we're probably gonna finish our hunter's log since we really don't have much to do on here, to be honest. We're already 3 out of 10. So did you manage to learn the Imperial Salute? No. Best you don't demonstrate. I'm liable to fly into a rage and crack skulls. I'll just take your word for it. You have learned the emote Imperial Salute. You are called Demon Lord Zxennie, yes? I have heard your plight from my friend Glaument. As a fellow adventurer and son of Eorsa, both I would offer you my assistance. In order to infiltrate Castrum Sentry, you and your comrades must disguise yourself as Imperial soldiers. The question is how to go about acquiring the uniforms and helms. There are places as man might purchase them, but individuals who deal in such wares are not the sort to whom you would entrust your secrets. It would be more prudent, I believe, to procure what you need via traditional means from the bodies of their recently deceased owners. The fortified area before Castrum Sentry never lacks for Imperial patrols. It ought not take long to obtain 3 sets of gear, one for each member of the infiltration team, Biggs, Wedge, and yourself. When you have what you need, please return here and allow me to inspect the spoils. Number 3. Whatever. Wife's cooking something that smells real good. Like wait outside the front door. Just like, hey guys, let me in. I'm gonna do fighting that. Were you able to obtain 3 sets of Imperial equipment? Damage, as I suspected. In their present condition, I fear these uniforms and helms are like to draw suspicion. They must be repaired, if only superficially. Fortunately, the blacksmith Ingolf at the Diamond Forge in Oenena's House of Splendors should be able to hammer them into shape in no time. I've already sent word ahead and have been assured that he is expecting you. Worry not, we have already impressed upon him the need of for utmost secrecy as to the nature of your mission. So you're the Venture Stark Malark sent, are you? I've been waiting for you, let's see what you got for me. To see, yes, I reckon I can hammer these back into shape for you. After all, I owe your friend Sark Malark a favor or two. Take good care of old Ingolf back in the days before I fell in with old Rowena, he did. Did you know he's the son of one of the wealthiest families in the Stilnet? Wouldn't expect someone like that to end up in the life that he did. But I suppose he always felt the Venture's life calling him. But here's I go blabbering on when there's work to be done. Just hold your horse, bird, for a moment or two, and the great Ingolf will have your gear looking good as new. And there we have it. Won't do ye much good in battle, mind ye, but from what I hear, that's not your priority anyhow. Do send Sark Malark my regards, will ye? Have you had the uniforms and helms repaired? Yes, these will serve beautifully. The great Ingolf never fails to impress. The quality of these repairs would fool even a legatus. Thus equipped, you should not have any trouble blending in amongst the Imperial forces, lest you fear the Garleans might detect your foreignness. Foreigners, in fact, from the greater part of Garlean invasion force in Eorza. You see, when the Empire subjugates New Terry, it assimilates the people of that land into its armed forces. In turn, these conscripted forces are sent to subjugate faraway lands. In this way, Garlemald nips rebellion in the bud and expands its territory in one fell stroke. With that, my part in your mission is done. I am full glad to have been of assistance to your cause. Why would I? A wealthy merchant wish to help you? I know not where you heard such a tale, but believe me when I say that I am but another humble adventurer, one who desires only to act in the best interests of the realm. A 48. Good work getting them Imperial duds. You'll be pleased to hear that I ain't been idle myself. It took long enough, but I finally hatched a plan to get us a suit of Magitech armor. Now, from what I've seen, Castrum Sentry deploys a Reaper for most of its patrols. Trouble is, the patrols themselves are irregular, meaning random routes and random deployments, and hardly any of them come anywhere near Revenant's Toll. So, hopping to coax the Imperials out of their shell, I took a liberty of feeding them a bit the old false intelligence told them insurgents had designed on their stronghold. Tain't far from the truth now, I come to think of it. Any road, we should start seeing more patrols than we have up until now. What you'll need to do is dispatch one of these patrols dressed up in your shiny tin suit and alert them to the enemy's presence. Having done that, you'll want to lure them near to Revenant's Toll as you can like as not, though. They'll be wary of venturing far from their own walls. If they do need a bit of extra encouragement, use this smoke signal here, pitch fresh from an Imperial scout. They'll come running when they see that, and when the cavalry arrives, you hit them hard, make off with their Reaper. Simple as that. If I ain't mistaken, there's a patrol sweeping the perimeter right now, so run along, A, and don't forget to salute. Carry on, soldier. Insurgents gathering to the east, you say. Judging by your description, they are well beyond the perimeter, but I will not have it said that I was remiss. You return to the scene and keep an eye on those insurgents. Should aught go awry, use your smoke signal to call us. I hope you don't mind me joining. See, as we're seizing advanced weaponry, I thought it best to be on hand. Ah, there she is. This is the place, but where is the enemy? Her over there. Send in the Reaper. Let us make an example of these insurgents. Oh, back to wearing orange here. Oh, I can't do that yet. Easy. At last, our very own suit of Magitech armor. Not wishing to look a gift chocobo in the beak. It does seem rather the worse for wear, doesn't it? Biggs, Wedge, what's your honest assessment? Well, there's the fact that she's smoking, of course, but looking past that, I'd say she was structurally sound. I don't like the way these legs are buckled. I hate to say this, but the servo mechanic system may be damaged. Okay, but aren't those things protected by thick armor plate? They are. It's odd. The casing doesn't seem to have taken a blow. I suspect we're dealing with a faulty part. Bro, whatever it is we're dealing with, we're not resting until it's fixed. No one wink of sleep. You got that, Wedge? Oh. And cart chocobo. I heard that. A hall has been set aside for our use in Revenant's Hall. That's where we'll carry out the repairs. Look for us there, Demon Lord. He's so tiny. The Magitek armor? Sid and others took inside. Go on in and join them. We've now had time to take a closer look at the Reaper. Our preliminary diagnosis was correct. She's structurally sound, but her servo mechanicism is faulty. You needn't worry though, Biggs and Wedge will see her restored to her former glory in no time at all. Give these two something to mend, and they will think of naught else till the job's done. 'Tis a marvelous thing to behold, provided you remind them to visit the privy. We have a lot of those. The repairs are proceeding apace. It shouldn't be long now. Biggs and Wedge complete their task. There is, however, one small problem. As you may recall, Mechana's servo mechanicism was discovered to be faulty. Wedge has subsequently ascertained that the Magitek core which drives it is worn beyond use. Such cores are rather fragile devices which must be replaced at regular intervals. Thanks to the negligence of our Imperial colleagues, however, the one used in this Reaper was long overdue. Alas, we do not have access to a ready replacement here in Mordana, but all is not lost. Wedge thinks he may have identified an alternative solution. Go and see him, would you? He'll explain the details to you. As I believe the chief has already informed you, the Magitek core is worn beyond use. We need to find a replacement. I thought about having you appropriate more Reapers, but even if the Dunderhead maintenance engineers of Castry Sentry had remembered to replace their cores, we would risk arousing Imperial suspicion. But do not despair, for I believe there is a solution to suitable the Magitek. For with Mammoth Heart. In case you don't know, a Mammoth Heart can be used to grant tenants to an automation By my reckoning, such a device should be more than capable of regulating the armor's turbomechanicism. We'll just need to make some minor modifications to the housing unit. I've already placed an order for the first Mammoth Heart with the Goldsmith Guild. All that remains is someone to go to Odal and collect it. Oh, and to pay for it. Ahem. Did I mention how much they cost? No? Well, typically they cost something in the order of, I hope you don't mind footing the bill. It's for a good cause. Hello there. Come to collect a Mammoth Heart, you say? Then you must be here on behalf of Garland Ironworks. I've taken the liberty of picking the finest example we have, a heart fit for a prince among mammoths. Payment? Oh, that won't be necessary. The heart is for Master Alphanon's personal use, after all. He notified us a short while ago that his manservant would be coming to collect it. Tender in years though he may be, Master Alphiniand has been a benefactor of ours since the predecessor's time. The Goldsmiths Guild wouldn't dream of charging him. But here's the Mammoth Art. May it serve you well. Oh, and please do pass on my compliments to your master. Want to go in? It hardly needs saying, but try not to be seen. Do you have the Mammoth Heart? I can't wait to see if it works. Can't wait to punch you in the head. Don't be undisturbing. Hurrah! Thank you so much. Yes, but this is magnificent. It must have cost an emperor's ransom. Free of charge, courtesy of Elfinod. Coming from an influential family certainly has its advantages. But without further ado, let's give it a try. I've already modified the housing unit, so it should slot right in. There, she's ready. Magitech armor engage. Or not. Haha. She just needs a love tap and I'll wager. Yes, she's alive. Let's take her outside and pull her through her paces, Demon Lord. Would you care to do the honors? Hop into the pilot seat. We'll begin as soon as you're ready. First, I'd like to try climbing that tangle of crystals yonder. As far up as you can go, if you please. Oh, and if for some reason you need to dismount, simply come back here and we'll start again. No anomalous movement evident from either leg. Good. Next, jump back down and then sprint north as quickly as you can. Well, I'm gonna go that way. Oh, I didn't get it. Oh, god damn. Torso remains stable during vigorous motion. Excellent. That concludes our test. Thank you for your cooperation. Here is a summary of my findings. The drivetrain is in sound condition with some fine tuning. We can expect a noticeable improvement in performance. As for the servo mechanism, I'm afraid it's not nearly as responsive as it should be, and I'm at a loss to explain why. The mammoth heart is in pristine condition and should be installed correctly. Perhaps its inner workings are simply too different to operate harmlessly with the armor's other mechanisms. Whereas Magitech cores serve only conduct impulses, Mammoth's heart enable automa to process the information collected by their sensors as feelings. Maybe she just doesn't feel like part of the team, in which case we should all do our best to make her feel welcome. Daft as it felt, I gave it my best. I welcomed myself to a bloody standstill. What were you expecting it to do anyway? Bob us a curtsy? No doubt you're wondering why the servo mechanism is so important to us warrant this silliness. Without it, the pilot would be required to control the armor's every movement manually. This would be an onerous task at the best of times, and wholly impractical during battle. Using a mammoth art in place of the worn Magitech core seems like a promising solution. Alas, this device does not appear to be compatible with Garlean's technology. Wedge, are there no other ways we might demonstrate our appreciation to our friend? I'm at my wit's end, Chief. She just doesn't seem convinced. We could try a little dance, perhaps, or cheer our heads off. Imperials, they've come for the armor. Damn it, they have us cornered. There's the Reaper. Taken by the traitor Garland. And is that the Eken Slayer? Oh, bollocks. Call for reinforcements. The hell as you will. We've located the stolen Reaper, requesting immediate assistance. Respond. It's no use, sir. There's some sort of interference. Curse you, Garland. No matter. If we can't reclaim it, destroy it. Bloody hells, Demon Lord. Protect the armor at all costs. Oh, easy. Keith, look, she moved. Ah, now she deigns to grace us with her presence. It took us a while, but we're finally ready. It's time to infiltrate Castrum Sentry and rescue our comrades. There, the finishing touch. Nice. The servo mechanism is now fully functional, and all it took was a simple fight to the death. Remind me not to install a mammoth heart aboard the Enterprise, would you? Much as I love her, I would rather not be required to profess it before boarding. But enough of that, let us see to our final preparations. Thanks to Biggs and Wedge, the Reaper is as good as new. We're also prepared as we're like to get.